What's going on, everyone? It is the CLNS Media post-game show, Patriots post-game show.
Yes.
You already know who you have right here alongside Marvin Azan. I am Mike Molino. Patriots shut out the Miami Dolphins at Gillette Stadium. I'm sorry. Was it Gillette Stadium or Foxborough?
Oh, that's good. That was a good one.
Sounded like it
That's
was
a
in
good one.
Foxborough, but at the Hard Rock Stadium down in Miami, Patriots shut out the Dolphins once again, 43-0. Marv, I'm pissed. I'm pissed,
What?
Marv.
What are you talking about?
The Baltimore Ravens put up 59 points.
Oh man.
I wanted something along those lines
Look.
from the high-powered New England Patriots team. We have to talk about the debuting Antonio Brown as well.
Listen, you have to understand one thing. Here in New England, we have compassion.
Okay.
We're sensitive to certain type of issues. And Brian Flores is the head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Our old boy.
That's our boy.
Okay.
That's our boy. The former defensive play caller for the Patriots. We didn't want to dump 50 on him. So we gave him a modest 43. That's all. A modest 43 just to say we here. But what the Ravens didn't do is they didn't shut them out.
That is true. And I think the stat line that I saw was this is the first time the Patriots have shut out the Dolphins at home in their stadium. It's the first time. So it's a lot of firsts, for what has been going on.
We know that the Patriots, when it comes to the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium, it's been difficult for them.
So yeah, let's get into the game here. Like we said, 43-0. Tom Brady once again leading the way. Another solid game from him. And you have to expect solid games from him, in terms of the quarterback play when you have the weapons that he has around him. We're not going to get to the protection, though, just yet. But in terms of what Tom Brady was still able to do with his weapons, 20 for 28, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also ran in for a little 1-yard touchdown in the goal line. Tom Brady doing things that we expect him to do. And I'm not taking age out of it. Let's talk about how good the quarterback is and the people he has around him.
I mean, when you say 20 for 28 right there, it can tell you what type of quarterback Tom Brady is. And we could talk about how great Brady is, but we just have to also remember this was the Miami Dolphins defense. This is the worst of the bunch. Brady was good as he was supposed to. I don't think this is much of a story. Not much we need to touch on. Brady, 2 for 20, 28, 2 touchdowns, 0 interception, as it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
and he ran in for a touchdown as well. Let's get his stats up there. Ran for a touchdown as well, Tom Brady.
Getting busy all the way around. And looking at the offense once again, you're talking about an offense that just added on possibly one of the best receivers in the NFL the last several seasons in Antonio Brown. That's the big story headed into this game. Obviously, will Antonio Brown play with everything else going on outside of football? Then you finally get the word that he is going to play. And what was it going to look like day one on the field for Antonio Brown? And you know what? He showed up. If I'm looking here correctly, I don't know why these stats are incorrect, but I feel like he got targeted 8 times, 4 receptions, 56 yards, and he got a touchdown as well. What more can you ask for a guy who's, learning the playbook for the first time, learning the offense, getting used to being with Tom Brady, getting used to being with this team? What more can you say about him?
And know what's crazy, Mike? That's a bad day for Antonio. 4 receptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown. That's and the old AB in Pittsburgh would be pissed if he had those type of numbers in a game. And that's just to show you this is a guy he's just getting acclimated. Brady targeted him a lot, especially that first drive they had. 3 receptions right to AB, bang bang, right there. And so it was that's when we saw we saw a little speed from him. We saw a couple of jukes and like this is about to be something crazy. Then Julian Edelman, he chips in with another 4 receptions himself, 51 yards. 4 targets for Julian Edelman.
Just 4. Wow.
4 targets for Julian Edelman. That right there tells you what type of offense the Patriots are going to be operating now. When's the last time you heard Julian Edelman have only 4 targets? He made Those he had his 4 receptions. He looked great out there, but four targets, things are different now in New England.
There's a lot of mouths to feed, man. There's a lot of mouths to feed on this offense. You got to get Antonio Brown the ball now. You have to get Dorsett, who has been very reliable in this offense for Tom Brady. 3 targets on the day, 3 catches, 39 yards. Another game for Dorsett where obviously you don't know if he's going to be a huge factor or not.
Right.
There's about 3 other guys in front of him that are going to get the ball, who are going to see targets, who are going to make plays. But we've seen again week 2 now, when Dorsett's number has been called upon, he has showed up and has been reliable for Tom Brady.
A guy who didn't have a great game passing wise, Josh Gordon. 2 receptions, 19 yards for 5 targets. There was some miscues out there. For me, it kind of looked like Josh Gordon was sleepwalking out there. It didn't look like he was really acclimated in the game. Not saying that he was or anything, it just didn't look like he was the focus. Josh Gordon, this is not a scrub. When you have him on the field, you want him to go off.
Yeah, it's important to have him being on the field, productive. Obviously, Tom Brady and Josh Gordon, they have their connection. They have that chemistry that they've built up a little bit over the last 2 seasons. And you expect him, going into the season, once you knew you had Josh Gordon back, I think it was obvious to most people that he's the second option on this team. Now you bring Antonio Brown into the mix. And yes, Tom Brady and Antonio Brown probably don't have the chemistry. They're probably, still working their way up in terms of what they can build together on the field. But let's not forget, this guy is the second, maybe the top wide receiver in the game. Top wide receiver in the game. And once he's on your team, I don't care what team he's on, he's automatically possibly 1, maybe 2, but definitely number 1 option. So you have to understand, Antonio Brown is going to get the ball. Josh Gordon has to get the ball. Julian Edelman has to get the ball. That's just what it is.
And moving on with the Patriots, Matt LaCosse, tight ends. They finally got the tight ends involved in the game. LaCosse looked kind of good out there. He catches the ball. You're like, who is he throwing the ball to right there? LaCosse implemented into the game. He had that injury earlier in the preseason. Finally gets in 2 receptions, 33 yards. Had one of the longest plays for 23 yards into the game. Burkhead, once again, he's looking good with his only 2 receptions, running in. Also, Sony Michel, he fumbled late in the game, so Burkhead got the rest of the carries out there. So the 3 running backs, they look good. We saw the dumpster touchdown that James White got off the screen. Yep. Brady's gonna have days where he targets one player if he sees a matchup, or he's gonna, like you said, there's mouths to feed where he's just gonna spread it out all over the place. And how do you game plan for something like that?
It's gonna be tough. It really is, because like we've talked about before, whether it be on this show or the round table or Double M, you never know who is gonna go off for the Patriots offense. Obviously the assumptions would be Edelman because he's at the top of the depth chart at wide receiver, and Sony Michel because he's at the top of the depth chart with running back. But you honestly never know. You never know, because everybody is almost equally as talented as the next person. It could be one person who has a big game. It could be another person who has a big game another week. Last week, obviously, yes, Antonio Brown wasn't a factor because he wasn't on the team yet. But last week, Josh Gordon was almost leading the way. Josh Gordon was very productive. This week, he definitely took a step back. Is that because Josh Gordon is just not a good player, or he doesn't know how to produce? No, it's just Tom Brady has to work with other people, on top of the fact that, yes, 8 targets to Antonio Brown. That first drive that you talked about a little bit, Marv, he definitely force-fed him a little bit. But the way this offense is set up, man, I tell you, I hope you don't have too many of these players on your fantasy team, because you literally don't know who's it going to be week to week.
Unless it's Tom Brady.
He's
the one feeding them. Going back to the score, though, 43-0. if you didn't watch this game, you're thinking, wow, Patriots really just dominated, left no plays off the field. But this game wasn't pretty. You hate games where you're facing a team you already know you're going to win. Both teams know the factor. National media knows who's going to win this game. And then you suffer injuries or you suffer mishaps. You just hate seeing things like that. We knew Marcus Cannon coming into this game would not be playing. So you're already adding a backup there. And then all of a sudden, Isaiah Wynn. You have a lot of stock in Isaiah Wynn.
Yes.
This is your first round pick in 2018. He finally comes back. He is your left tackle. You get rid of was it Trent Williams?
Trent Williams.
So now Isaiah Wynn comes and he's been playing well. He played well in preseason. He played well in the first game. He leaves. He's out for a foot injury. We don't have any updates on that yet, but he left the game with a foot injury. It wasn't questionable to return. Was out automatically. That is huge because now you brought in guys who Brady was getting pressured out there.
Sure
yes,
was.
You won 43-0, but there was some times he took some hits, and then we're talking about penalties as well. Offensive linemen, jumping early. So that's a major concern moving forward.
Yeah, and we made a mistake. It was not Trent Williams. It was Trent Brown.
Trent Brown. I knew when I said Williams. Trent Brown.
Trent Brown is who the Patriots had at left tackle, who is now a member of the Oakland Raiders. But yeah, let's talk about it some more, man. This offensive line is really struggling. And if you talk about, what as mighty as this Patriots team seems at times, if there's one chink in the armor, if some people want to say, if there's one, describe it, it's definitely the offensive line. And I truly believe Dante Starnecki is one of the greatest offensive line coach to ever come about in the NFL. But sometimes if you just don't have the depth, and that's not Starnecki's fault because he's only trying to coach the guys that he has available to him. You don't have the depth, you don't have the talent sometimes, and then you're just losing guys to injury left and right. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And right now, the Patriots are struggling. Wynn's out, Cannon's out. I know I was talking to you, saying this to you, Marv, during the show. The Patriots are lucky that it was the Dolphins.
Very lucky.
Very lucky it was just the Dolphins because any high-powered team, a team that has a scary defense,
they'll get into the quarterback at will.
It would be a rough day for Brady. And not to say today wasn't rough for Brady. He was getting hurried. He got sacked, I believe, twice. So not to say that this was easy because it was the Dolphins, but you definitely could see, the pressure was there. And compared to a team, like I said, high-powered defense, that pressure might turn into much more problems.
You mentioned Wynn being out, Cannon being out, but let's not forget Andrews is out too. This is the beginning of the season. That means you're having 3 replacements already on the offensive line. You brought in a guy, Corey Cunningham. You brought in Marshall Newhouse. I think it was
knew something, but it wasn't any good with the way he was playing.
Playing old as hell. That's what he was playing because he sucked. He was bad. He had a bad game. Marshall Newhouse. This is going to be now going through the season a work in progress.
Yeah,
Patriots are really going to have to. You say Dante Scarnecchia this week. He's really going to have to whip these the offensive linemen.
It's going to be tested right here.
The right tackle and your left tackle are not familiar with what as starters.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be times you're not facing Miami no more.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be facing them until probably December. You move on, look into the schedule. Brady's going to be tested. Now teams know that they're facing against, inexperienced offensive line. They're gonna start bringing more heat, different packages. Yes, you have great offense. You got great running backs where you can, Brady is one of the best at quick throws.
Yes.
Right away, quick slants. And he's going to need to revert back to that. The deep balls to Josh Gordon or to Philip Dorsett, those won't be there right now until you really form your offensive line.
Now, the offense, we've talked about that a lot in terms of how they look today. Obviously, when you look at the points that the Patriots scored, 43, you're thinking, oh, man, Tom Brady had a hell of a game. The offense really stepped up. The weapons were there. This was a very well-played defensive game from the Patriots. To shut this team out And then I'm looking at the sack number, 7 sacks from the Patriots. They
Ooh.
recorded 4 on Fitzpatrick, another 3 on Rosen. They were getting busy defensively. And I think at one point in the game, I forgot where, I think maybe somewhere towards the end of the third quarter, possibly, the Dolphins had only recorded maybe 3 first downs or something like that on the game. Whatever that final number was, it was pretty ugly. I think in total, if I'm looking at the team stats here, first downs for the Dolphins, they only completed 11 compared to the Patriots' 27 first downs. The Patriots were, for the most part, holding this team down in every fashion. And, obviously it's easy to say that because it's the Miami Dolphins.
It is. That's why we got to.
It's easy to say that because the
relax.
But I will say this. I don't care if it was the Miami Dolphins or the Pop Warner team down the road from me. If you can have a confidence booster with your defense going out and playing like this, I'll take it. Whether it's against one of the top ranked teams or one of these bum teams where you just go out and shut out, I'll take it. So if this is a game that just helps build the confidence, I think of a guy like Jamie Collins, who was back in playing for the Patriots, and obviously he was here before, and he's trying to work his way back. He's obviously a starter now, continuing to work his way back and probably to the good graces of Belichick because, they shifted him out for a reason. And then he has a game like he did today. I believe he finished the game with 2 interceptions. I believe he had about 5 total tackles. He had a tackle for a loss. This is a guy who was getting busy, and he was all around the field defensively. Shout out to what the defense was able to do today.
I love what the defense did, especially the line. The line was the one question mark I had on this defense, and they looked really good. Yes, against Miami, but we got to talk about it.
Yep.
They look good. Adam Butler, he's the one who caught my attention this game. Looking at his stats right now, he had 3 tackles, 2 sacks in this game, and 2 tackles for loss. He was all over the place. He also had a couple deflections as well against Fitzpatrick. So I loved what I saw from Adam Butler. Anytime you can get production from a defensive lineman, you're a golden. Hightower, he listed only 3 tackles, but he was all over the field, just causing pressure with Fitzpatrick. And then Winovich.
I was just looking at him. Yep.
Winovich, man, this is everyone's player that everyone thinks he's gonna really rise into this defense and really fit into this defensive system. Past 2 games, he's looked really good. Winovich has 1.5 sacks in this game. What do you think about the linebackers and the line before we even get to the secondary?
Again, like I said, beautifully played game from them. I look at the fact that Dietrich Wise Jr. was a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Was a healthy scratch. And this is a guy who's been a major part of this defense the last couple of seasons. For him to be a healthy scratch, don't really know the story behind it with the Patriots. Sometimes you never know. They won't release too much information. But even without Dietrich Wise on the field, the guys you just named and listed, they really stepped up and had a great game. I'm really a fan of this John Simon guy. I think he plays
good.
Very well whenever he gets a chance. Michael Bennett, is he? I don't think. Well, I personally didn't think Michael Bennett was going to come to the Patriots and put up any kind of crazy numbers like that. But veteran presence, and he brings a little attitude, a little personality to the defense, which is nothing wrong with that. You have the defense that's getting the job done. One, that's first and foremost. But number 2, if they have a little swagger to them, I don't mind that at all because you're having games like this one and the one you had last week. And then you have a little personality and swagger to you, and I think that's what Michael Bennett does. These guys up front, the linebackers, the D line, I think they're doing an awesome job, and they show that today against the Dolphins.
And I'm glad you brought up the word swagger. That was something last year where I was always complaining about, especially early in the season. Like, this defense had no identity.
Yep.
Where was the identity? Who are they going to rally around? Now we transition, talk about the secondary. This secondary has a lot of swag.
You could see it with J.C. Jackson, one of the plays he made.
These guys are really coming at it. You got some personalities out there. You got Chung, you got the McCourty brothers. You mentioned J.C. Jackson, and you got the silent killer of them all, Stephon Gilmore.
Yep.
He doesn't talk much, but this guy takes his competition very seriously. Jonathan Jones is out there. He's been playing well for the Patriots. So I love this secondary. 50-50 Fitzpatrick, Rosen, didn't matter who it was. They couldn't get the job done at all. We saw Stephon Gilmore finally reach the end zone for the first time
Pick six.
with his pick six. Jamie Collins, he got a pick six as well in this game. So there was touchdowns everywhere, however you wanted it. Offense, defense. We're going to get to special teams in a minute. But offense, defense, there was a lot of points being thrown by the Patriots, and that's what you like to see. You like to see your team cause turnovers.
Yep.
Look, Miami Dolphins receivers are ass.
True.
Like, it's bad.
Very true.
There was a point Rosen was throwing some dimes. Give Rosen some highlight reels so when you go on YouTube, you can see Josh Rosen highlights. Those would have made it. Especially against the Patriots, it would have looked nice.
But then
nice couple dimes.
They're not making it when receivers are letting the balls bounce off their helmet instead of catching their face mask.
They made it too easy. There was one where J.C. Jackson was beat so bad, and the receiver, dropped it, and the ball went backwards. J.C. Jackson, if he had known, he would have been able to intercept that.
That's the same play. It bounced off his face mask.
So they made it easy for the Patriots as well. Yes, we're big hyping the Pats, but you have to understand, Miami Dolphins are so bad.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm telling you this right now. Last year, you want to say undefeated season, blah, blah, blah. I'll be so shocked the Dolphins win one game.
Oh, you have the Dolphins going 0-16.
Oh, without a doubt.
Sheesh.
They are currently shipping players as we speak.
And you know what it is? I don't think they'll go 0-16 because I can see it happening. But I don't say they're going 0-16 because they just suck. Because they do. That's a sucky team over there. But also due to the fact that I feel like them players over there, they just don't give a damn.
They don't.
They're just like, you know what? Whatever, dude. Y'all want to score 59 points on us? You want to score 43 points on us? Whatever. Some of them are probably just like, just give me the check. Just let me take care of my family. Give me the check. There's other guys like what's the name of the cornerback Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, Minko Fitzpatrick.
He and probably some other guys on the team like, look, get me out of here so I could play some competitive football on another team. And there's probably other guys over on the team just like, man, I'm getting a check.
I'm living
in Miami. I'm playing in the National Football League. Whatever. As long as my family's taken care of, I'm taken care of. I'm all set to go. So it's just a real tough situation. They suck, and they probably have players who either don't want to be there anymore or don't care. That's just what it is for the Miami Dolphins. But let's continue looking at what the Patriots did today. And we could definitely talk about special teams.
It's time.
Because you know what? I've been preaching it for a long time now. I think the last season was where it really ramped up for me. But, it's solidified going into the season. It's solidified right now in this very moment that we speak. I want Steven Gostkowski off of this team.
Wow.
I don't know if I can. Let me look right into the camera and make sure it's clear. I want Steven Gostkowski off the New England Patriots. I don't care what he's done for the team. I don't care what history, what stats he has in the Patriots history in terms of kicks and points or percentages. It don't matter to me. What have you done for me lately? And I tell you what Steven Gostkowski's done for me lately. He's done nothing but suck. Extra points, field goals. What did he do today? 1 for 2 on field goals. 4 for 6 on extra points. 4 for 6 on extra points is terrible.
Missing 2 extra points in a game is very worrisome.
He needs to go. I'm good. I tweeted it out. I said, first of all, Steven Gostkowski has to go. Then he missed a kick, and I said he needs to go immediately. Then he missed another kick, and I said he needs to go. What's that word? I said expeditiously. He needs to get off the team. I'm done with Steven Gostkowski. It's to the point now where I really think that, if they're in field goal or extra point, he just prances on up. Okay, let me go get this kick. He misses it. He makes it, whatever. And then he just bobbles his way back to the bench. You know why? Because he's living a life where he doesn't have to worry about anything. His job he doesn't feel threatened by losing his job. He doesn't feel threatened. They
never put any heat on him.
They never drafted a kicker. They never brought another kicker into training camp. There's no fire that has been lit under Gostkowski's ass to make him feel like he's worried. He misses a kick and he just goes down and sits on the bench like it's nothing.
Now, do you think, because yes, we can, come at Steven Gostkowski all we want, but there's also has been some change. We started in the preseason where Jake Bailey, the rookie punter, he is now the holder. And he has made some mistakes as well. I had not yet gone back and looked at the kicks, but do you think that also has something to do with it? Because missing 2 extra points, there's a problem there. 2 extra points, there has to be more that's going on.
You know what? It's starting to become like we expect Gostkowski. When Gostkowski steps up to kick,
You watch now. You can't.
We
go
wa-
to the,
yeah,
you
you
can't go
watch
to the bathroom and
because
miss it
there's uncertainty of if he's gonna make. There was a time period, yes, a couple years ago where Gostkowski got up to kicking and just like, all right, yes, they got the 6 points. Now they're gonna get to 7 because Gostkowski's kicking. Or they're in field goal range, they're setting up for the field goal. Gostkowski stepping up. All right, we're getting those 3 points. Now you literally don't know.
Yeah.
You watch with uncertainty every time Gostkowski steps up because he's been so unreliable over these last couple of seasons. I don't know his exact age off the top of my head, but like it really is to the point where, and I've said this last offseason too, if you're not going to draft a kicker, sure. But if there's one thing you need to do to keep this guy competitive, have a fire still lit under him, inside of him, just bring in some healthy competition. Just to have somebody come into training camp and kick.
It is time.
Have somebody come into training camp and kick, or the preseason games to kick. Just have somebody there so Gostkowski will feel like, oh, well, they're actually looking at somebody for the first time since I've been here.
Work on my game.
Let me see what I could do so I can solidify my spot. But no, he has nothing to worry about. And I'm starting to feel like the Patriots don't give a damn to.
You have for a team not to have brought in a kicker at one point, just to look at, just to practice, just to do anything like you had just mentioned, it means that they are very comfortable with Gostkowski. And Gostkowski is a guy, yes, he has won us a lot of big games, but he's also put us in some peculiar situations.
Sure has.
He has put us in some situations you shouldn't be in. I can mention any Super Bowl. The guy will miss you one. Extra point, field goal, so the automatic ones too. We're not talking about anything 50 yards above. We're talking about the ones we believe should be automatic. So this is concerning now. Against Miami Dolphins, the weather was fine, 90 degrees. To miss a field goal and to miss extra points. Now we really I need the talk of the town to be, what the hell is wrong with Gostkowski and that field goal unit? The unit as a whole. Everybody needs to get looked at, and some things needs to change because it cannot continue. Looking at the schedule ahead, Patriots are very lucky. They got the Jets. Their quarterback out there smooching. He probably going to prom. He went to prom or something, and now he got mono.
So wild party or something. Sam.
Then you got the Bills, then you got the Redskins, and then you got the Giants. So there's a lot of time for you to really practice and beat up on some dummies till you can figure it out, until you face a respectable opponent that we think will be the Browns.
That's a smooth 6-0, Marv.
It should be.
Maybe 7-0, because who's after the Giants there? You get the Jets again. That's a smooth. Darnold won't be back. Darnold won't be back still.
Darnold might not be back.
That's a smooth 7-0 start to the Patriots season.
And so
could be 8-0. Let me stop reaching here, because I look at the Browns, and unless they can show something tomorrow night in their Monday night football game, Patriots could start the season off 8-0 just by the way that schedule's set up. And I have my confidence in saying that is very strong.
We got Omar here talking about he's a Dolphins fan, saying he just bought a Kenyon Drake jersey. You must collect memorabilia because I'll tell you this right now, he will not be a Miami Dolphin by the end of this season.
Sheesh.
So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe you bought the jersey because off of the Miami Miracle. I don't know why else you would have bought that jersey.
Hey, so
even if you're a Dolphins fan, I don't know why you will buy any jersey from this current team.
Some people who play in like rec leagues and stuff, they like to wear, replica jerseys or something.
Oh, I get it. He needs something to sweat off on.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to get his real jerseys ready. Yeah. Marino jerseys.
Why go play flag football or something in a real jersey where you could just wear some chop? You play sports outside, you running around getting sweaty, you wear something you don't care about.
He said it was 120 Lord, you
$1.20.
nah 100. Nah, he got the official. He
Oh,
got
the stitched
official,
on.
the one that
But stitched on. Okay.
the reflection on it.
Ah.
You must have got a Jay Ajayi jersey too while you were at it. I'd
Sheesh.
say, Omar, we got something for you on this show. It'll be coming up.
Oh man. But yeah, again, looking back at this game here against the Dolphins, what else did you expect to happen in this matchup?
I wasn't expecting much. I mean, if we got to be honest, this was the Dolphins.
Yeah.
What I wanted to see though is Sony Michel play better than what he did last week.
He did.
Sony Michel. I mean, he got the touchdown. He did have a fumble, which was
a low part.
And Patriots don't play around when
Sure
it comes
don't.
to fumble. But 21 carries, 85 yards. Sony Michel looked decent out there. Bounce back game compared to what Pittsburgh week 1. So that's what I was really looking for. Seeing the running game. We know they barely ran the ball last week because it was just excitement. Seeing Josh Gordon back in it and the game plan and whatnot. But Sony Michel, I was really looking forward to Sony Michel, see what he would do. He played well. Obviously, AB, how would they implement them? There was a report that came out. I think you even told me that they said they were going to feed AB.
They sure did.
I don't know what the hell that meant, but I understood right away. They were going to feed AB. And Brady, sometimes he doesn't care about the game plan. If he wants to target one receiver,
sure will.
He will target one receiver. Just think about last year when Josh Gordon just got in.
Yep. He can feel comfortable.
He just force feeds them. And that's different from Brady. Prior years, Brady, it will take you weeks for him to really, get you into the game and really get comfortable. But once you put a superstar on Brady's face, he don't give.
And you know what? That's crazy because I really honestly feel that Brady might be the only quarterback that can really do that. And when I say that, I mean, you take Antonio Brown and you put him on put him on like the Falcons or something.
Okay.
Just throwing a team out there. I don't think, and I'm just using the Falcons as an example of Matt Ryan. I don't think Matt Ryan, they have a game plan that they worked on all week. Right. I don't think Matt Ryan is going to step up in the game and then say, well, I'm going to just get Antonio Brown the ball. That's all I'm going to do.
Right.
I don't think there's many other quarterbacks that can really just come out there and say, game 1, I'm going to just force feed a guy a ball and just screw the game plan. I want to make sure Antonio Brown gets the ball. I feel like Brady's like, we drop back. Antonio Brown, you get open. Trust your boy. I'm going to hit you.
And, we saw that the connection wasn't all the way there. 8 targets for AB, only 4 receptions. The one glaring one was obviously the touchdown that Brady threw behind him. I don't know what the hell that was.
Just a bad pass. Bad pass. Brady knew it.
It wasn't good, I don't know if it was AB speed. He wasn't expecting him to get off the line so quick.
Brady was pissed and pissed at himself. He punched himself in the head about 2 times.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but they'll make it work. You can make those mistakes against Miami.
Yeah, you could do a lot of stuff against Miami and not be worried because it's Miami. One guy, kind of moving off of that topic a little bit. One guy who I continue to look at this team and say how deep they are offensively in the weapons. And this is a guy who's going to have a down season. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault. But James White is a very good football player.
Yeah.
He's a very good pass-catching running back who can get the job done whenever his name is called upon. And last season, they needed him.
Pro Bowl season. Should have got her over Phillip Lindsay.
They needed James White bad. This season, his talent's there, but his number just won't be called upon as much. And it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, his role's a third down running back.
Third down running back.
And third downs now, you have multiple options.
Oh, yeah,
One.
Sure.
Second, sometimes there's going to be games. There are going to be games when the offense is clicking, and they're not going to get many third downs.
That is true as well.
And then also, Rex Burkhead looks pretty damn good right now.
Sure does.
Rex Burkhead looks healthy, and he looks good. And he does a little bit of both.
That's the good thing about Rex Burkhead. You have James White, who's a mainly, pass catching. Sony Michel is definitely going to try to punch it up the gut and get some yards that way. And Rex Burkhead can take the ball. Step onto the field, and you're not going to know what they're going to do with him.
And that's the beauty of this team. And we're talking about a team that they have rookies that haven't touched the floor yet. Jacoby, he was not
He
seen
didn't
at
play
all
today.
this
Yep.
game. No Jacoby Myers. Damian Harris, the running back, has still not seen the field
Yep.
yet. You know, this team
Nikhil
has
Harry's working his way back from injury.
Nikhil Harry, man. This is gonna be tough for him to
Sure is.
see the phone.
Especially now that Dorsett is playing away. If there was a chance
Yes.
for him to really come out and like, okay, you know, first overall pick for the Patriots in the draft, you would think he would. You would think he would, you know, leap over Dorsett. But the way Dorsett's been playing, his spot as the, you know, the fourth option at wide receiver on this team might be solidified.
Yeah, and even in training camp in preseason, Nikhil Harry, it was the role was there for him.
Mm-hmm.
No Gordon, no AB, no Demaryius Thomas. He needed to beat out Dorsett, but he couldn't beat out Dorsett.
He got hurt.
He got hurt, and Dorsett. We come to find out, you know, when you listen to these players talk, and I remember the game. I believe it was the third preseason game where Brady found Dorsett multiple times. There was no one else playing. Brady comes out and says, "Yeah, me and Dorsett have a great connection. I know where he's going to be at all times." When I hear that, I know, oh man, this is Dorsett. Brady will look for Dorsett in clutch moments. I mean, you see it and you hear it, and that's something, that's trust. That's the belief. That's working with you for over a year now, and it's rare. And Brady has a guy in Dorsett.
Yeah. When you have that trust from Brady, you know, you're going to see time on the field. I think that's just what it boils down to. When you're on the field and Brady knows that he can pass you the ball with full confidence that you're going to make a play, it's beautiful. It really is. So good luck to Nikhil Harry when you get back trying to find time on the field.
That's not to say Nikhil's not talented, not to say things. We just saw 3 offensive linemen in a span of 3 weeks go down.
Yeah, that's true.
Things
Just like
happen.
that.
Things happen quickly. So, Patriots just need to stay healthy, Mike.
That's it. That's all you can ask for. This team is so high-powered, offensively, defensively. The only thing that can really knock them off their high pedestal is injuries, in my opinion. That's the only thing. Because I honestly feel as if when fully healthy and fully clicking on all cylinders, there's not many teams that can possibly match the team. Yeah, Kansas City, what Mahomes and them boys are doing over there, solid team. The Saints, they got some weapons over there behind Drew Brees as well. But not just to say this because we're the Patriots post-game show, but like this is a team that is very scary.
Pretty damn good.
Very scary. But yeah, man, next week, the Patriots, you said, will be taking on the
New York Jets.
And I just, once again, don't see the Jets posing a real threat to New England.
Not at all.
Not at all. The game is back at Foxborough. But if you ask me, it seems as if the Patriots have been at home these first 2 games of the season.
Yeah.
But they're actually going to be home in week 3 when they take on the Jets. I see another game where it can be unpredictable. When I say unpredictable, who knows who's going to be that guy to really step up.
Right. We don't know who's going to be.
You don't know who's going to be
and
ever.
You hate when you face, just like Miami, you're facing a team that's right now done and out. Jets season is done because their quarterback will not be playing for the next 3 to 7 weeks, which is really unfortunate, but their season's over. Dolphins, their season's over. So you're facing a team you're probably going to roll over. Can you stay healthy?
That's what it boils down to.
Can you stay healthy?
Health is going to be what really matters. And especially a game like that, when you're facing a team where you know that's not probably going to give you much competition, you definitely want the win. Obviously, you want the win. But if you can make it out of those games healthy, that's all you can really ask for. That really is it. I'm trying to look here at when the Patriots got their first win on the road last season, because they struggled last year on the road. Their first 2 road games last season, Jacksonville and Detroit, 2 losses. Patriots didn't get their first win on the road all the way until October 21st, 2018. Patriots were able to secure their first road win week 2 in September. So hopefully that's a sign of, no more road issues for the Patriots this upcoming season. Looking at the time, though, what time do we have here? You know what we got to get into, Marv.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what we have to get into here for sure. We have the stars and sorries of the game. It's a game where the stars can go in various directions. Various directions. There's a lot of options for stars. I'm just gonna easily name off a few. Tom Brady for sure can get a star from his performance. Antonio Brown making his debut. Solid game from him. What more can you ask for a guy who's playing for the first time? He's only been with the team for not even a full week, I believe, or just about a week, and he, puts up points on the board. Defensively, Jamie Collins, 2 interceptions, a couple tackles. You can look at many guys on the defensive side of football and give out stars, but those are some guys that definitely jump out for me.
I got stars for me. Obviously, you got to talk about Philip Dorsett. I just like what he does. Mike, when he catches, I went up to him like, does this guy ever drop a pass from Tom Brady?
Doesn't seem like it.
He's a guy that everyone thinks will be lost in the sauce. You got Josh Gordon, you got Julian Edelman, you got Antonio Brown now. You have the 3-headed running back. But Dorsett keeps finding a way to make plays. So I really loved what I've seen from Philip Dorsett. AB, he got a touchdown.
Sure.
He got the touchdown from Tom Brady.
Business is booming.
Business is booming. He looked good out there. He looked quick. Obviously, he doesn't know the playbook fully well yet.
Yep.
But when he does, and you hope the off the field allegations are not true.
Yeah, you don't want him missing. Football wise, Patriots wise, you don't want that guy missing any time with the team because you know what he can bring to the table when he's out there fully healthy, locked in, and ready to go. But we got to shift gears.
Yes.
And on the show, when there's the good,
there's the bad.
And when you're bad, we tell you sorry. We talked about it in the beginning of the show a little bit. But overall, the Miami Dolphins just suck.
Yeah, this is bad. It's real
and
bad.
like I said, it's a combination of two things. The team is just not talented, 1. And 2, there's guys who have given up hope on this football team, whether that means they just want to get the hell out of town and go play competitive football for another franchise, or they're just, content with picking up their checks and going home to take care of their families. But a lot of these guys on this team just don't care. They're not good, or they're not good and they don't care. Combination of 2. So I need to give, I'm sure you want to give it as well, and I'm sure you guys watching want to make sure that you give this as well. But to the Miami Dolphins, after this abysmal performance, and I got another one too, but I want to give this out to the Miami Dolphins franchise first. You guys get a big fat sorry. Secondly, like I said in the beginning of the show, I wasn't sure if we were at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, that was going to be mine.
Might as well play that, Fenway Park, TD. That was a Boston or New England arena, stadium, whatever you want to call it. Anytime Brady touched the ball, anytime Patriots players touch the ball, they're chanting for Brady loudly on the broadcast. You can hear Brady's name clearly inside of a guest arena, a guest stadium. That's unbelievable. So for you Miami Dolphins fans, I know I don't know. I've only lived in Boston my whole life. So I don't know the other side of it in terms of you being on a team that's really just completely sucked, doesn't have any, recent good history. I can't really understand it. But I tell you this, the fans didn't show up.
The fans didn't show, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't show up. I actually commend the fans for not showing up. Why would they show up? This team pretty much said, the organization said, we do not give a damn about you guys. We are taking this year off. We are shipping everybody that has any type of value to this team, and we're gonna tank. We're gonna tank bad. We're gonna get scored on by 59 points one game. Then we're not even gonna score a point the next game. We are going to suck, and we're gonna have Ryan Fitzpatrick because he's the perfect person to have suck. It's unfortunate. It's so bad. The fans shouldn't come. They shouldn't come, and if they do come, cheer for the opposing team. Cheer for the opposing team, and like this should never be allowed in the NFL. What is happening in Miami should not be allowed whatsoever. So F the Dolphins for even doing what they're doing, because I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't like how they just got rid of everybody to try to get the number one pick, and that's going to change everything. And I don't like what they're doing to my boy Flores, because he's the one he has to go with the record of 0-16 at the end of the year. That goes on his personal record.
Yeah, man, it's a pretty ugly situation over there. So from what I'm getting from you, we can't really give the fans a sorry.
No, I gotta give it to the upper echelon.
So
they're doing it to their fans.
The front office. Okay. To the front office, who has this team looking in very bad shape. And like Marvin said, it's pretty much thrown in the towel on the season and already looking forward to things to come during the offseason. We have to give the front office of Miami Dolphins a big fat sorry.
And another additional sorry from my boy Ryan Mooney, Stephen Gostkowski.
Yeah. Yes. I didn't even think of that right off the top of my head, which I should have. Oh, my goodness.
This is bad. This is getting concerning. This is getting rough. This is like, I want to wake up tomorrow with the notification. Patriots have brought in kicker from Nevada to just start kicking practice. Something.
I'll do you one better. I'll take a notification that says Gostkowski's been cut.
Okay, hold on. Relax. Hold on. Whoa. Hey.
I wouldn't bat my eyes twice for that. Really wouldn't.
Breathe.
You don't get it, Marv. I'm going to try and tell you for the longest time. I'm all set on Stephen Gostkowski. I'm good. I've seen enough. Everything else clicking for the team. Quarterback, great. Weapons, great. Defense looking great. You get to special teams. Slater's doing his thing. Hall of Famer. But then you got to worry about the kicking and Stephen Gostkowski, and he sucks. Offensive line struggling right now, but Stephen Gostkowski sucks. It's a big difference. Offensive line struggling with injury and whatnot. Stephen Gostkowski sucks. Those are the two weaknesses of this Patriots team.
Yeah.
So, Stephen Gostkowski, I'm going to make sure you could definitely hear this wherever you are right now. You get ready to hop on the plane back to New England, back to Boston. From us here, especially from me, you get a big fat sorry, you bum. You freaking bum.
Hey, whoa.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
Let me chill out. I'm good here. I'm good.
So where will we be next week?
Next week, you'll find Marv and I in multiple places. Obviously, we have the post-game show here today following the game against the Dolphins. We will have the roundtable, Patriots roundtable, dropping later on this week. Make sure you're on the lookout for that with our guy, Nick Q.
Yes, sir.
But then you can also check us out Tuesday night on the Double M Show. Check us out live on YouTube, CLNS Media Network. We'll be holding it down with various topics: sports, media, entertainment, urban culture.
Yes, sir.
A lot to talk about on the Double M Show. Check that out. Yeah, follow us with everything that we do because we have the Patriots covered. We have various other content covered right here on the CLNS Media Network. Any final things you want to add in, Marv?
Patriots handle business like they were supposed to do. Let's not overreact on anything. Try to get this offensive line healthy. Find out what happened to Isaiah Wynn.
Absolutely. So as we wrap things up, we want to thank you guys for tuning in and checking us out once again. Like we said, you can find us right here following every Patriots game throughout the course of this 2019 season. For Marvin Azan, I am Mike Molyneux. We will see you guys next week.